Oh, we did it.
Ooh.
Hi, hello. I'm Rabbi Brian. Glad that you're here. This is a Saturday service, and I am joined by a group of people, and that is just a close up of my face. There's a group of people. Oh, you guys are a little bit small today, but that's all right. I'm going to just leave that.
They're enough.
They're enough as they are. We already had a little bit of a discussion on this idea of enoughness and are we enough? And the bottom of this little quote says, we don't need any more of you. You are enough. We don't need any more of you, which reminds me of the um, get better card that was given from one office mate to another office mate. It said, get better soon. And he said, I'm not sick. He said, I know you're not sick. I just need you to do better.
Oh.
So, and this quote goes a little bit along with it is, you are enough. We don't need any more of you, which could be heard snarkily. John, would you give us the better reading of it so it doesn't sound too snarky?
We don't need more of you.
If you put the accent on the word of, we don't need more of you. You are enough. And I want you to take a moment as we start today to think about if you truly believed, and if it's only for 59 minutes, if you truly believed that you are enough. And I'm sitting here trying to get this through my head as well, as I have all my notes in front of me, and I think, oh, I really hope that I run this service really well and give everyone a really good experience, and I hope I hope I'm enough. And the more I settle into, yeah, you know what? I am enough. I got this. I'm here with a whole bunch of friends. We're all doing this together. It's enough.
Yeah.
I would love to hear from some people some affirmation of, you know what? I'm enough. Is that a big ask to start with? I'll take a raised hand. Who's willing to say, just for experiment's sake, you know what? I'm enough.
Mm-hmm.
Go ahead, Ron, then Rita, then Jeff, then Emily.
I am enough.
Mm-hmm.
Amen. Rita?
I'm enough.
Amen. Rita, you are enough. Jeff?
I am enough.
Beautiful. Emily?
I'm enough. I've done enough.
Yeah. Amen. Anyone else want to turn?
Yeah, my life's been full.
You're enough. Go ahead, Ellis.
I am enough.
Amen. Anyone going to disagree and say Ellis needs to be doing more? Sorry about picking on you, Ellis. Oh, that's way too many hands at once. No, I'm kidding. Ellis, you are enough. Anyone else want a little sucker of the delicious ambrosia of enoughness?
Diana.
Diana's hand is up.
Go ahead, Diana. I did not see you. Thank you.
But she's muted.
I am enough.
There you go.
Amen. Diana, question for you. While you were struggling to find the unmute button, did you feel enough? Did you feel like you were enough?
Did I feel like I was enough?
Did doubt creep in?
Yeah, for just a moment. For just a moment. Yeah. Yeah. Am I attentive enough? You know, that was sort of behind the holistic I am enough.
Yeah. Am I doing this right? Is everyone judge me? Am I doing this wrong? I think if we got nothing else out of today's service, the feeling of I am enough might be enough. So now let's play for extra credit. We have Lori. Oh, go ahead, Bob, and then we'll move on to Lori.
I am enough, but I'm capable of more.
I am enough and I'm capable of more. I am enough, but I'm capable of more. I
I
am
like
enough.
the and better.
I like and.
Yeah.
Okay. And I'm capable of more.
But leave the but off. The but always invalidates what's said.
But I like butts.
All right.
Oh, Ron. Now, now,
Sorry.
All right,
Oh, good.
pass.
It's all right. You are enough as you are. Lori, we turn our attention to our friend Lori with 3 things that I've learned in the past week. Lori, tell us what have you learned in the past week?
Well, I put them in the chat for myself as much as everybody else. I heard this isn't something I learned at Religion Out of the Box, but I wanted to share it. I thought it was amazing. ACDC's road manager Barry Taylor said, "God is the name of the blanket we throw over mystery to give it shape."
God is the name of the blanket we throw over mystery to give it shape.
Yeah, isn't
That's
that cool?
fantastic. I
There
love
was
it.
a comedian on Netflix that was talking about that, and it's from the manager of ACDC, but it's very deep. And the other things I learned about were polydoxy. I was talking about process theology, and Michael, I don't know if he's here today.
Yes, he is.
Pardon?
Yeah,
Yes.
Michael's here.
Oh, he is. He talked about polydoxy.org, which is about religious autonomy, pluralism, and respect for other beliefs. And Rabbi, I think it's Reimer. Is it Reimer?
Rhinus, Alvin
Rhinus.
Rhinus. Yeah.
Yeah. So that was a rabbit hole I went down investigating. And if anybody wants to look at it, it's polydoxy.org. And the third
Can I give
one,
I'm going to interrupt for a second just to give a quick understanding of poly meaning many, dox meaning belief. Ortho means straight, so orthodox is straight belief, one belief. Polydoxy is this idea that we can have different beliefs, that we can all have different beliefs. We all have different blankets that we throw over different mysteries that have different shapes.
Mm-hmm.
and it's about respecting other people's beliefs and their religious autonomy to define what strikes a chord with them, right?
Yes.
And then I was thinking about conflict. And when I told you this, I think when I did claims, I was a claims adjudicator at London Life, and sometimes people, not me, but other people would tell people that they don't qualify for benefits because they aren't disabled. And I think that does a real disservice in our communication to people because they become more resolute in their decision. And so by arguing with people and telling them that they aren't that what they think is wrong, they become more dug in to being right. And we sort of, I think we do them a disservice by doing that.
Thank you, Lori. And Lori, I want to thank you. I never had intended, but it's funny how, what we intend and how it's heard are often different. I had never intended that 3 things that you learned in the week would come only from Religion Outside the Box. And I like that that's where you ran up. It's just 3 things that the Religion Outside the Box intern learned that they want to share, and we're setting dangerous precedent should we ever get a second intern. Thank you, Lori.
Okay, no problem.
Hold up. I just had a wonderful moment right there, letting the dog out. Where I had this quick thought of, oh, I should, no. It's all right. I'm enough. Alvin Reines said something like this. He said it in much more erudite words. He said, imagine there are 5 people on an island, and 4 of them all believe the same thing, and 1 of them believes something different. He said, do these 4 have a right to try to convince this one that their thinking is wrong and that they should have the same thinking as these 4? And that's the idea of polydoxy. That it doesn't matter how many. There are a billion Catholics all telling you that you're wrong. That's nice. Okay. Congratulations. We all just passed polydoxy.
Well,
Hey, Maria. How many times have you been annoyed today?
Okay, you probably won't like this, but I have solved the annoyance issue. I'm down to 1 a day.
Wow.
I don't think I'm going to be annoyed to find out that you have solved the annoyance issue. So let me give a little bit of background. I said last week, I said many of us don't even know how many times we get annoyed in a day. And if we knew how many times we got annoyed in a day, if you knew the number was 15, then the first thing that happens in the morning that annoys you, the coffee filter has a rip in it or whatever it is, you would say, oh, look, that's my first annoyance of the day. I still have 14 more to get through before I have bedtime. And the idea of to collect how many, to know how often you get annoyed as a way of changing your being annoyed. And so Maria was kind enough to tell me last week that she was keeping track of how many times she got annoyed. And I thought I would follow up. And it seems like it's going in a different direction than I thought.
Well, okay, first I have to apologize to the Tuesday group because my memory was bad. And so when I actually started keeping direct track, my number was way low that I had told people on Tuesday. And, that added to my annoyances at my memory and that sort of thing. So now 1 a day, because the first thing that annoys me, it's like, okay, well, my life is annoying. That's it.
That's
all
it.
the rest fall under that one umbrella. Life is annoying.
Would you recommend what you did? Should other people follow this? Is this great advice?
If you want to be snarky and try to, buck the system, yeah. But for the people who aren't like that,
Yeah.
then no.
Okay. Well, thank you, Maria, for helping.
How about if we thought my life is enough? All the things around me are enough.
And annoying.
So we played with doing it this way with "You Are Enough" and saying that there's this idea of enoughness. Enoughness is close to acceptance. Enoughness that it's seeing that vacuum is half empty, that it can take more stuff. It's not filled up. I like this idea of enoughness, fighting against our annoyances. Okay.
Rabbi, I get a star sticker this week.
Oh, go ahead, Emily. Emily, will you be satisfied with a heart sticker? I'm out of stars right now.
Heart sticker's good. Yeah, heart sticker's good. Green
what do you got, Emily?
I found I was thinking about the annoyance. Anyway, I was waiting in a waiting room to get my car serviced, and there were some children around. I was trying to read a book, a very spiritual book, by the way, and there were children around, and I was annoyed. I don't like those children being around me. It really made me mad. And then I thought, wait a minute, I'm annoyed. And I looked at the children and looked at their mother sitting there, and the kids were great kids. They were really good kids. They were being kids, and they were great. And I stopped myself and I pulled out a paper and I wrote their mother a note. And I told her she was doing a great job of parenting, and she got an A+ for that. And I folded it up and gave it to her. It changed my annoyance.
I love that.
And I did it. And I was so glad.
Emily, thank you. I will post I don't know, 7 heart stickers feel like a reasonable number for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's a good number. Yeah,
I'm
one
gonna
for every day. Yeah.
Send you a strip. Anyone else have a, hey, I took some of this spiritual religious stuff that we're talking about and applied it in real time that they can share? Someone else do a thing last week where you took an annoyance and you stopped it while it was happening? Go ahead, Jack.
Yeah, this morning I stubbed my toe on the rug, and as soon as I did that, the whole talk about annoyances came back to me, and I chuckled.
Nice. We do. Last week we had a bit of a homework on forgiving ourselves for being human. How are we doing on that homework? And I had given us this exercise to do as practice. Anyone have? I feel like I need to talk a little bit more about practice. How are we going? How are we going to get good? How are you able to do what Emily did? You have to do it by doing it badly first. That's the point of this. All right, everyone, I need you to do this exercise with me, and it's going to be bad. Put your 2 fists together. One thumb, one pinky. Opposite thumb, opposite pinky. And now, this is what it's going to feel like when you're feeling I am not enough and you want to feel I am enough. And you're going to work very hard to make it happen at first.
I want you.
There you go. Ellen, I love seeing how you seem to be enjoying this. That's lovely. Switch pinky and thumb. It is difficult to do. Switch pinky and thumb. It is difficult to do. It is really difficult to change. It's going. All right, shake your hands out. Shake your hands out. Shake your hands out.
No, 3 fingers don't work.
It's hard to do. It's hard to learn new things. It's hard to not be annoyed when there are pesky children and you want to read a book on spirituality. It's hard to choose something else. It's hard to do something new. That's why we practice. All right. Good job, team. I wanted to share something that happened to me last week. So the Kickstarter went through and I got the funding to be able to print these books and send them to you. So thank you very much. I'm so excited about it. And then I realized this thing happened to me where I thought, well, that was easy enough. That wasn't hard to do. And I thought, well, a month ago, I didn't know that I could raise the money. But as soon as it was done, I thought, well, that's no big accomplishment. And I'll tell a story. It goes like this. I was invited to do a performance piece in Lynchburg, Virginia. My friend from Magic Camp invited me. And I said, well, what do you want me to do? He said, I don't care, man. Just do something. Fill some time, entertain the people. So I stood up and I had a $20 bill. I had someone sign it. And I said, I'm going to show you an absolute, genuine, authentic, bona fide miracle. And I hope you can see this miracle. It's going to be amazing. And I lit the $20 bill on fire, burned it. And I said, if you're expecting the $20 bill to come back, that wasn't the miracle. The miracle is this all around us. The fact that we even have money to trade, We have lights we have electricity. There are miracles that abound. But we tend, I said this, and I'm going to repeat it here to you guys. We tend to define the miraculous as the impossible happening. We tend to define the miraculous as the impossible happening. And as so long as we define the miracle as the impossible happening, it will never happen because it's impossible. And then once something does happen that seemed impossible, we'll say it's no longer a miracle because it happened. It doesn't work. If I take my accomplishment and I poo-poo it and say, well, it wasn't a big deal because I did it, that's not fair. Okay. That was all I prepared on that little card there. Impossible miracles. Need to remember that. Go ahead.
We define the miracle. Say that again. We define the miracle as.
Okay, hold on one second. Mason, I'll be right with you in a second. If we define, Emily, what I was trying to say is if we define the miraculous as the impossible happening, we'll never see a miracle because the impossible can't happen. And then we say anything that does happen isn't miraculous because it wasn't impossible.
Okay.
And where's the joy? Where's the miracles? If we say, well, it's not miraculous. It's right there in front of my eyes. Then we're shortchanging ourselves. I don't really feel like I'm hitting very perfectly here, but I am enough, and we're going to go with it. Mason, help us out, and then Jeff and Ron. Oh, and then
I don't know. I had another thought off your Kickstarter, and you're saying, Mason, you're a little bit late. But what you've done with Kickstarter in some ways is just a beginning, not enough.
Thank you.
I think that's a reflection of what Bob had to say, that enough shouldn't be a stop. It should be a recognition up to the minute.
Okay. That it is enough right now. We're enough right now. I like that. I like that. Anyone want to dip in with I am enough right now? You don't have to go any further than this moment. At this moment, I am enough. I like that. That feels comfortable. Oh, I just saw my friend Ruth. Hi, Ruth. Happy birthday, my friend.
And Joe.
And there's our friend Joe. Hey, everyone who's on the screen, you're enough right now. Anyone have the thought that they might be the exception to that? Brains are sneaky, aren't they? Go ahead, Jeff, and then
I wanted to go back to your question about being impossible.
Yeah.
We've done impossible things all our lives. When you first tried to walk, it was impossible.
Correct.
But you didn't, by the 50th time you fell down, you didn't go, well, maybe this walking isn't for me. You didn't do that. You did the impossible.
Yeah.
Tying your shoelaces was impossible. Feeding yourself was impossible until it wasn't.
Right.
Okay.
Right.
Going to the potty was impossible until you did it.
Right. And wouldn't it be nice if we considered the things that we still are doing as miraculous?
Yes.
I think we can. Go ahead, John, and then Ron. Thank you, Jeff.
I just had a flippant response to when you were thinking, going through that stuff. My response is, I will be enough tomorrow.
Well, you know what, John? You're right. You will be enough tomorrow.
Enough tomorrow. That's right.
It's how you said it. It depends on your intonation. Go ahead, Ron.
I just wanted to go back to miracles and say that one of my favorite songs by my favorite band, the Grateful Dead, is I Need a Miracle Every Day.
Mm.
Forgive me when I'm not.
Say it again, Emily.
I forgive me when I'm not enough. I forgive me.
Oh, I'm going to add in another sticker on your pile.
Send her the whole sheet, Brian.
Really? It's gonna have to be a package.
I got two more added in. It's hard to forgive ourselves when we're not enough. That brings me back to last week at the start of our service. I asked everyone how they were feeling on the scale of bottom of the screen to top of the screen. And we had two people at the very start who said, I'm doing down here. And I wanted to comment on something that we all did, which was beautiful, is we didn't try to fix them. We just let them be. And we said, we see you. We hear you. We didn't even say it in that many words. We let people be heard, let people be seen. What a wonderful gift that is to give. I think it's important for us to remember we don't need to fix all the problems that are in front of us. We don't need to fix somebody because sometimes somebody's sadness makes us feel uncomfortable. We don't need to fix them. Go ahead, Alice.
I think it's how we frame it.
Yeah.
So, and I think a little differently, but I'm enough irregardless. Even in the low places, I'm enough for that moment. So there's never a time I'm not enough. And when I really understood that, life became so much more joyful, so much more alive.
Yeah. I think this might come from childhood where we were always is what Jeff was just talking about of you got this done, you got this done, you got this done. And then there's this next thing to do and next thing to do. And we never got this sense, maybe some of us did, but many of us didn't get the sense of enoughness. That you're all right. You can rest on your laurels.
America is the land of more.
Right. Our culture tells us more, 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 more. Except if your culture, well, I'll just say on behalf of Judaism, Judaism has been pushing enoughness as a weekly practice since Exodus. This idea of taking some time off and saying enough. Sabbath is about feeling filled. And that we are enough. At least once a week. Your day is tomorrow, John. Go ahead, Rita.
It's acceptance.
Yeah.
Accepting ourselves and then accepting humanity as it is.
Accepting life as it is. Yeah. I kind of like your idea, John, of tomorrow I will be enough. I like that as a corollary or corollary, as my Canadian friends have taught me to say. Take that in for a moment of tomorrow I will be enough. How does that feel?
What did I forget to do?
Well, you got to remember that tomorrow you'll be enough. Go ahead, Ellen's friend, whose name I don't know.
Hi, Ellen's friend is Andy. I've been her friend for 51 years.
Mazel tov.
Good friend.
I want to feel like I'm enough, and occasionally I do, but I have a hard time reconciling it with being very aware about my shortcomings and how I can be better and working on how I can be better.
I'm so glad you said that, Andy, because it is time for us to do a large review of something. And number 6 of our review is going to hit exactly what you're saying, Andy. Hold on. Folks, we haven't done this at least once this quarter. Where is my... I'm enough. 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 Oh, I can't seem to get me and. Hey guys, when we got together at 7, we started a half hour early. You know what I didn't do? I didn't check all my camera settings were right. But fortunately, oh, there we go. Hold on. There it is. I did it. Okay, good job, me. I am enough. 6 qualities of a spiritual religious life. There are 6 qualities of a spiritual religious life. 5 of them come from Eric Fromm, and the 6th one, which is the answer to Andy's questions, comes from Jung. Carl Gustav Jung added in number 6. They did not put these in this order. This is my doing. There are 6 qualities to a spiritual religious life. I like to remind you all of these and help me out with some of them and help yourself to remember what you remember by participating. Little note, if you haven't been with us for very long or if you had forgotten, you will notice a delightful lack of the God word in the qualities of a spiritual religious life. One can have a very healthy spiritual religious life without necessitating the use of the God word.
What do you
6
make
qualities of a spiritual religious life. Who wants in on the first one? They're not in any order. Give me one of them.
Uncertainty.
Okay, I'm going to go with uncertainty. First quality of a spiritual religious life is remembering that uncertainty is there. Uncertainty is something we have to live with. That questions will always abound. That knowing something for certain is not going to work. Ruth, who just turned 85, I'm being
91.
91.
91.
Happy birthday, Ruth.
Oh my gosh, Ruth.
Yeah.
What did you want to add in, Ruth?
And my great-granddaughter was born on my birthday 2 years ago. And she's 2.
Mazel tov.
So we celebrate together. Anyway, spirituality and compassion.
Yes. Okay. So I've heard compassion and love.
You did hear it.
And in a spiritual religious life, compassion and love are at the top of a hierarchy of values. In a spiritual religious life, we have a hierarchy of values, and most of us would agree that compassion and love are towards the top. Diana, what do you have to add?
Maybe listening.
I'm going to put that one in here too, listening. These are all great qualities that are part of a spiritual religious life. Other qualities that Fromm talks about is this idea of transformation, that a spiritual religious life is not solid. It's not something that's fixed for all time, but it's about change, that things change in a spiritual religious life. Another quality of a spiritual religious life is a sense of connection. It's a sense of connection that everything is part of something. Another quality of a spiritual religious life. What do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4. Another quality of a spiritual religious life is that the spiritual religious life, and we see that in compassion, love, and listening, the quality of a spiritual religious life is it's not about the individual. Spiritual religious life is about a community. It's about the world. It's about something larger than us. So that's the 5 that come from Fromm, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And the 6th one that comes from Jung is that a spiritual religious life, while it's not about us, I can say a spiritual religious life also has to be about us. And Andy, that's going to fit in to the sixth quality, is that a spiritual religious life is one that is filled with paradox. That something and its opposite can both be true. Okay. For those of you taking this for advanced credit, how many of them can you remember without looking? Just take a moment to think about how many of those 6 you know. And if you don't remember 3 of them, that's fine. It's just good to know what you know and what you don't know. So let's do a lightning round. Which ones do you remember? Without looking at your notes, what do you remember?
Compassion.
Compassion.
Paradox.
There was a
Paradox.
hierarchy of values. Paradox.
Transformation.
Transformation. Questions being important. I'm missing one or two.
Connection.
Connection. Thank you, Diana. Did I get all of them?
It's not about the individual, it's about something.
And that the spiritual religious life is not about the individual. And then that led us into paradox. Very good. I like us to review every so often the qualities of a spiritual religious life, so we can. Somebody can say to us, "Well, what are you learning? What is spiritual life?" And you can say, "Well, I happen to know 6 qualities of a spiritual religious life," and you can tell them. Go ahead, Jack.
I think it's missing steadfastness.
Steadfastness. A spiritual religious life is filled with steadfastness. I'd say, yeah. Can I add that into paradox and saying also the opposite of it, that a spiritual religious life is about being steadfast and also about being accepting of what is, accepting of change? I would love to have change in there too.
Yeah.
You do. Transformation.
Oh, I do have it in there. Transformation. Thank you. So transformation plus steadfastness. Well,
I think respect needs
Joe's
to be.
hand is up.
Go. Yes. There are many qualities that can go on this. Go ahead. Thank you, Michael, and then Joe.
Oh, you want me now or Mike first? Michael.
Michael, did you have more to add in?
No, I just said
yeah, that's
mutual respect and understanding, but it's implied here.
Thank you, Michael. Joe, that's all the focus is on you now.
I have a little comment about the enoughness business.
Go ahead.
Because life can deliver you stuff that you're not enough for. Because I can attribute to that in the last 7 months, but for sure the last month and a half. But here's the beauty of even me not being enough is that if I rely on other people too, there's still enoughness in the situation because you all can help me where I lack and get me through situations that I'm not enough for. So even if I'm not enough, if I ask for help and reach out to people that I know, love, and accept me, there is still enoughness, even if I'm short on enoughness myself.
Joe, how easy is it to reach out and ask people for help?
Not easy at all. It's not easy. It's not easy, but it's worth every bit of the discomfort and embarrassment and whatever disappointment you are in yourself about you think you're not enough. And to be honest, really, like the last month, I have not been enough. There was no way I could recover from surgery and handle a husband that we thought was dying. I mean, and he's not now. He's doing much better. But the last month, I have gone from not having surgery to having a husband who was sort of hanging in to having a husband who literally was he was almost dead. People, that's just the facts. he's doing much better. I'm doing much better, but I guarantee you, I'm not enough. I'm not enough as a human being to manage all that. No, I don't think there is a human being on this planet that's enough to manage all of that. So I simply surrendered to the fact that I wasn't enough, and I asked for help because I knew I couldn't do it myself. Now, was that easy? No, because I have this independent spirit that says you are enough no matter what. And I decided to be humble and say, Joe, you are not enough for this. And I asked for help, and the help was there. And here I am still breathing today because someone else helped me be enough when I simply couldn't be enough.
Thank you, Joe.
Yay.
And it's
Yeah.
a bit of a paradox there is that you're not enough and you are enough, both at the same time. Go ahead, Carol.
This is what I was trying to say before. We are not individuals. Nobody ever diapered themselves when they were 1 year old. No dentist has ever filled his own teeth. We are always connected to other people or we would not survive.
Yeah.
So that's why I say the word you are enough. You has to include all those that feed you.
Yeah. Yeah. It's
So
none of
my
us.
enough makes you enough.
Oh, say that again, Emily. You're not getting any more stickers, though. Go ahead, say it again.
I was just thinking, so my enough makes Joe enough. I mean, I can give her my enough, and then she can have enough.
Together we are enough, and that makes each of us.
Together we are enough.
Right.
Together we are enough.
We are
I
enough.
mean, there's that old Pete Seeger song. One man's arms can't knock a prison down. Two man's arms can't knock a prison down. But in 1 and 2 and 3 and make a man, we'll knock that prison down.
Thank you.
Bravo.
Carol.
Thank you.
Doug?
I wanted. Oh, sorry. Go
Hold
ahead.
on, Lori.
This business of enough, as I listen to that, I struggle with it. And then I also think back to a few weeks ago when we talked about 4 out of 5 stars wasn't enough. So I think the 4 out of 5 stars we give ourselves is maybe what we mean by enough.
Yeah, that we don't need to be perfect. We are perfect enough. Love it. Go ahead, John, Rita, and then Al.
I'm reminded of an observation, an adage, whatever it is, that one snowflake doesn't do much. However, if that one snowflake is indeed the billionth snowflake, then the tree comes toppling down because of one snowflake.
Yeah. Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, John. Rita, then Al.
Well, I think that we could say that being able to ask for help is part of being enough.
Yeah. I like that. Thank you. Al?
So going back to, the enough part, you mentioned that in Judaism, they teach about, enoughness and being content with what you already have. What are your thoughts on, someone who is ambitious and says, well, this is not enough. I want more, I want, like, for example, right now, I'm doing my MBA because I want to do more, I'm trying to, grow my business because I want more. But so I'm raising the bar for myself, right? So if I wasn't going to raise the bar, if I would say everything's enough.
Right.
What are your thoughts on that?
I think it's both, Al. I think it's both. Is that we want to strive for more and to perfect this world and to see that it's not enough. And at the same time, 4 out of 5 stars is enough. I think it's both.
That's a paradox.
It's a paradox. We can have both and. It can be the thing and its opposite. It can be half empty and half full. Go ahead,
So
Ron.
when you,
Go
yeah,
ahead,
sorry.
Al. Sorry, I don't mean to cut you off. Go ahead, Al. Say it again.
Yeah, I'm sorry. So when you say enough, you're talking about um, from an emotional perspective where enough as in I'm happy. Is that what you're talking about?
I think so.
Okay.
Content, at peace.
Okay.
The word shalom, right? We translate it as peace, but in Hebrew the word means shalem. Like if you go to get your gas filled, when the tank is shalem, that's it. No more will go in. It's full. It's filled. It's enough.
Okay. Thank you.
And congratulations on your MBA.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Lori, go ahead.
I was gonna say that with Joe, she cultivated those relationships with people. And so part of you being able to ask for help and having people you can ask for help, probably people that you have helped in the past, is part of you being enough.
Proud of yourself?
That there's a little danger in that, Lori. I think in that some people might see that you can't ask unless you've put in. And I'm not saying that we can't. We shouldn't also put in. Yes, Joe has given much to this community, and the community wants to give back. But it's also non-reciprocal, that we can ask for help when we need it from a collective that we haven't necessarily given a quid pro quo. We haven't given exactly to. Go ahead, Ron, and then we're going to do some prayer time. I have a great quote for you.
Okay, I just think that part of the paradox is that we are both individual and all part of that collective consciousness of the divine.
At the same,
And we're both at the same time. We are enough because we are all.
amen. I'm going to read you a poem. This is from John Rodell. He said, "Everything feels so heavy today," I told an angel who was disguised as the sky. "Everything feels so heavy today," I told an angel who was disguised as the sky. "That's because you're not supposed to be carrying everything," the angel replied. I felt my back buckle under the weight of my burdens. "Well, what exactly am I meant to be carrying right now?" I asked the chatty heavens. "On," the sky angel responded. "Just keep carrying on. And for today, that's enough." Let's add our thoughts to those who need extra prayers today. Maria, you have a list of people we want to say some prayers for.
I do. These are the people to whom we are sending light and love. Joe and Ken, Sheridan H., Rita S., Greg, Shirley W., Judy Love and her family, Tane and Kelly, Nancy R., Jerry W., Sander Feinberg and Amethyst, Maggie, Michael Watkins and baby Jaden, Irma P., Sue and Marvin, Frank, Ollie, Beth, Patricia, Sandra and their families, Mish and Alvina, Noreen, Carolyn Hyatt in spirit, Lorena and Joe, Peggy in spirit and her husband Ralph, and all the people in Colorado who are affected by the fire, those who have lost their homes, those evacuated, and the firefighters. If there is another person in our community to whom we can offer light and love, please put their name in the chat and I will add them to the list on Facebook. And for the people who aren't named, but who are in our thoughts, we send them light and love as well.
Let's take a minute of time right now. I saw a definition of prayer recently I wanted to share. Attention taken to its highest degree is the same thing as prayer. It presupposes faith and love. Absolutely unmixed attention is prayer. Let's take another minute for some gratitude. What's something that's really simple and overlooked often for which you have gratitude today? What's something simple and often overlooked for which you can find some gratitude today? I'll take suggestions, put some things in the chat. What are some things for which you have gratitude that are often overlooked?
Having enough money to buy groceries.
Being able to buy groceries. Amen. Amen.
Peace.
Amen.
Having shelter.
Amen. Unbelievable. Simple. Overlooked.
Feeling understood.
Oh my God. Feeling understood.
My
Amen.
dogs.
Dogs. Amen, Emily. I'll add in feeling enough at times.
Being healthy.
Our health. Oh my God, totally.
This group of people.
Amen. I'm going to move us over to, go ahead. Was there another one we wanted to add?
Books.
Books. Amen. I have some announcements, but they start with this. Don't fill in the blank, but tell me if you would be able to. Hold on, working on the focus. There it is. I am annoyed by blank.
Hi, guys.
You got one of those? Do you ever think this? If I were only a better person, I wouldn't be annoyed by blank?
There's a can opener in the toaster thing, but I don't mind going and put. I'll go put it.
Thank you. I'm annoyed by microphones that are open.
I'm annoyed by people holding up 3x5 cards. Oh, perfect.
How do you
Now
feel
it's
about
much better.
3 by
Now it's much
4
better.
and
Thank
4
you.
quarters?
Thank you very much.
If I only
much
were a
better
better
now.
person, I wouldn't be annoyed by blank. Do you think that sometimes? I'm annoyed by something. If I were only a better person, I wouldn't be annoyed by it. And here's what I want to say. It's okay to be annoyed, which is a corollary to our usual announcement. Also, I wrote it all in script so that we could all feel old and cool together. My kids don't know how to read it. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to be annoyed. We shouldn't beat ourselves up for being annoyed when we're annoyed. It's okay to be annoyed. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to be having a really hard time. It's okay to feel really uncomfortable. That's part of it. This is not happy, full. I heard someone describe it as full sunshine spirituality, where everything's just great. We don't live in that. It's okay not to be okay. It's okay to be annoyed. All right. I can tell you what I'm taking from today. I'm taking from today a greater sense of enoughness. Maybe I don't need to rush as much as I do. Maybe I don't need to make excuses as often as I do. Maybe I'm enough because I'm connected to as much as I am. What are you taking with you today? I don't mind if everyone says the same thing. That's fine. It's not a creativity contest. It's what are you taking with you today? It's a chance for us to reinforce learning. What are you taking with you? Yeah.
I'm taking your gift, your invitation to see the miraculous in that which is already there.
Amen.
You know, the miracle of the sky. Yeah. Thank you.
Or being able to pay for our groceries. Something simple. What else are you taking? Thank you, Gord.
The word enoughness.
The word enoughness. Amen.
I want to work on that.
Yeah. Work on it some.
That was close.
Right? Be
Kids
terrible to beat yourself up about that. John, what are you taking with you?
Can I share? This is from a prayer to Mother Wisdom. It's the beginning of the prayer. I pray for the kind of wisdom that is deep happiness, so that I may remain joyfully boggled by the shocking beauty of the natural world that surrounds me. I pray to remain blissfully awestruck with fascination at the people I encounter every day. I pray that my feelings of frustration will be moderated by deep gratitude that I am alive to feel anything at all.
Oh, yes.
Amen.
That's great.
Amen.
Amen.
If you want to continue with the poetry group, we're going to have that in a minute after we say goodbye to our friends on Facebook. Let's say goodbye to our... Oh, come on. Where are my friends on... Just, there they are. Sorry, y'all are still very small. Let's say goodbye to the people who are watching this on recording.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye-bye. Happy trails.
Keep saying goodbye. I'm having a hard time finding the ding dang off button. There it is. Goodbye. We mean it this time.
To you.